And I think I set up 2 live streams, live chat. What is up, Mercedes Benz? Okay, let me see. Slow mode is on. Okay, where's that? Where's that going away? All right. Let me get to the chat. Oops, don't. Okay. Put this right here. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? I don't know if I'm on the right chat. Adrian, what's up? Okay, Mercedes says yes. Howdy, KK's Crazy House. All right, there we go. Now it's working. What's up, man? Slow the chat. It's a boogieing. It's a boogieing. Greta, Laura, loud and clear. Sandy, Mark Goody, good afternoon. Lisa, Barb T. Hello. Here you are from the planet's favorite place. Oh, there's a long. I'm on the bench, so. Let's let people start jumping on there. Then we'll get to the topic at hand. Obviously. If you've seen yesterday's What You Doing Willis video. What's up, Kathy? Jessica, what's up? Oh, they're live right now? Great. I didn't know that. I've already started, so those who come over after replay, I apologize. I didn't know they were live. I didn't see no message. How long they been live? So they just started. I probably should start later. Way to go, Willis. What's up, Tommy? Jacqueline, good morning. Jacqueline, and there's Malcolm, what's up? Doing good. Tanya Lee. Tubetown, baby, that's right. So, Jess, how long are they on for, do you know? So I totally didn't mean to do that. It must be a members only. Is it a members only thing? What's up, Nicola, Tony, Ellen, what's up? Amber, Army Vet, what is up? Amy Mary, good day. 187 people in there. Woohoo, Tubetown, Harry says. Bridget, members, oh, it's a members only. Okay, that's probably why. I didn't think they did lies, random lies. So, well, their members are definitely, at least they give members only lives. Or extras, I should say. Yeah, that's right. Checkmate, see if you're still subscribed. 190 people in there. We appreciate you. I did dress right today. I am the mayor. Joseph from Kentucky, what's up? Okay, 20 minutes. Yeah, okay, members. All right. I'm just going to keep running with it then. I'm sure those members will jump over here. Wow, look how dirty my feet are. Once they're done with. So, Allie, what is up? Good day. Tubetown River Rat, what's up? There's Lisa. Good afternoon. I was able to get my phone twisted right. I started off and it was wrong. And I had to go to the settings. Is there 2 lives out there? Because I think I said, I'm fine. Why? You think I got sick? I didn't sound sick. You were the one who was sick, Jess. Jess thought I was sick the other day. Barry Island, Wales, UK. Tom Jones, what is up? Cool. On the island in the UK. How cool is that? Worldwide chat about this video. The video out there that pretty, it really, there are so many comments in my box. I haven't even been able to get to even very little of them. The last one I was just getting to, somebody's talking, they're disappointing me because I didn't show the whole video. And like I said, I mentioned the response, like I can't show that video. That's not my video. I showed what that video was showing off the computer screen, but I said if they wanted to find it, they could go find it. So, yeah, that was that. So I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I can't play other people's content. YouTube, fire them. That's funny. Yeah, I'll be over there after this live to get my Tubetown video today. 3 o'clock Tubetown video today coming out, and then we got a 6:30 live on What You Doing Willis. I'm just a YouTuber. Yeah, so today's topic I want to discuss. Hopefully, I might have to go to my truck because it might rain, and then I might run out of juice. So I want to talk about that incident with the individual who was arrested. And did you notify Megan Fox? No, not yet. I was actually going to. I'm sure people already have, actually. I'm pretty sure this is going to get some attention. I hope it gets some attention, because as you all know in my video from yesterday, like I said, sorry, potential spam. I've always had a desire to be in law enforcement. As the person I am, I've always wanted to, as you know, help people, be there to help people, protect people. And so I just, I was just like 89,000 other comments out of the 89,003. Everybody's pretty much on the same page as far as like the the treatment that individual got. And I've seen some people talk about different things, which I'll talk about. It's going to be hard for me to read the chat because I'm just going to let some people jump on here, and I'll probably talk about it a few times, and I'll just try to bounce back and forth off of you all that are in the chat so we can kind of discuss it. Because again, that was very, very disturbing to me to see an individual. First of all, aren't police officers supposed to de-escalate? Let's start. Well, I tell you what, we're gonna wait till we get 300 people in here, and then we'll do it. Then we'll start. But keep that in mind. Sheriff's Department. Well, that's a GoPro and a camera, and then it's obvious. It'd be pretty obvious. They'd be pretty silly if they wanted to retaliate. And again, I have nothing against the Sheriff's Department. It's that one individual deputy and his actions and what he did. It was all caught on camera. That's the issue that I have. That's the reason why I'm wanted to talk about it today. It's obviously in my comments. Like I said, there's I think maybe 700 comments. I don't remember. But there was a lot, so I haven't got back to a lot. I'm gonna try to get back to some today. Then I had to come out here and make a TubeTown video, and then I want to do the live, and then I gotta get home for the. And then actually I gotta get back home because truck's going in the shop today for the AC. Thank goodness. So I am taking it back to the house after I'm done uploading the video to drop it off at the shop. So I'm pretty excited about that. But yeah, the whole situation with that arrest, I want to talk about because the fact of, as you've seen in my video. I know a lot of law enforcement officers. I've met thousands over the years, and as you could tell, it was pretty evident that I had some decent bit of interaction, exchange with them from the collection that I have. So, and there's been a lot of ride-alongs I've been on. Discretion is always, at the officer's discretion, right? And then, if you are trained, 287 people, I'm going to start talking about anyway. They need body cameras. This is what I'm going to talk about here too when we get this moving, because it really fired me up. But I thought officers were trained to de-escalate a situation, right? Don't they supposed to de-escalate a situation? Two, don't they supposed to get both sides of the situation? Don't they? Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I only seen the one video, and I did watch it from the start to finish so I get an idea. And it seemed to me like I didn't know what started the incident. Okay, so all right, we're almost at 300 people. Oh look, I got my gavel right here. The homemade gavel somebody sent me, so that's what we're tapping in with. But I want to discuss like a lot of it actually, a lot of it because the fact of when police officers get there, don't they supposed to get the statements of each individual? So what happened prior to that video starting? Think about that. What happened prior to that video starting that wasn't recorded, that you don't see? Second of all, if you look at some of the police records, these brothers, the cops have been called on them many times for them fighting, and it's been thrown out of court because the cops like, these brothers fighting again. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. If I understand it correctly, it was the one individual and then his brother with the other individual. And so what did the brother and the other individuals do to get this individual fired up? Do we see any of that? I know this side said there's a rock thrown, a stick thrown, and some paint thrown. Okay, that's one thing I know. And then here's another thing I know. Country boys, when they're getting called out by somebody else and says, hey, come over here and let's go knuckle to knuckle. Real country boys do that, just so you know. A real country boy will go over there, and then when you're done, if you get your butt whooped, well, you stand up, shake his hand, go buy him a beer, vice versa. That's what people who are from the country do, just so you know. Mayor Dan, what's up? Tapping in. Three for tapping in and one for Mayor Dan. But just to kind of get back, again, I'm probably going to bounce around a lot here just because of the fact of it's really irritating. But a police officer is supposed to use discretion. Then a police officer is supposed to get both. Don't when police officers get on scene, again, I've been with a lot of police officers on scenes. Okay, it's obvious. I haven't been with Levy County, so I don't know. But I have had one very good experience with Levy County years ago, way prior to any of this, or me doing YouTube or meeting Jeremy or anything like that. So, don't the police officers, when they get on scene, don't they basically especially when there's two officers, don't one officer take this subject and this party over here get their story, and then this officer takes this party over here and gets their story, and then the officers come back together, collaborate, and then they kind of start their talks as to what's going on. Isn't that how that's supposed to work? I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I mean, if the cops come walk up and say, "Hey, he threw something at me, and I got paint on my clothes, arrest him." Well, the cops are just gonna walk up and arrest him, or don't they supposed to figure out what's going on? And again, what happened prior to the video being shown when he was all sure? He's all, he's all fired up. He's cussing. He's hollering. But you know what he's doing? He is staying on his property. And again, you guys, I love being able to express my feelings to you all. And some of you can think what you want. But it was pretty obvious that he stayed over there on his side. He didn't come and try to attack or anything. But he did call out the individual that was there, in my opinion, seemed to be antagonizing. I don't think they were there just to do the one thing they were doing. I think there was some sort of antagonizing to start, maybe between the brothers. And obviously that person with a YouTube channel, not a YouTuber, but a person with a YouTube channel, decides, oh, guess what? I could do cops in Otter Creek and I could get a bunch of views and I could say all this stuff, but that person can't, stand up and defend himself or say, you know what? Hey, you threw a rock at me and threw paint at me. Well, let's go toe to toe. Nope. I'm going to call the police. And then when the police get there, my opinion, from what I've seen, the one individual, the suspect that was arrested, he said, "Hey guys, you know me, I ain't got nothing against you guys." And then the one little cop, what's that? Yeah, the little cop. He just walked straight to him, and the suspect, he ended up putting his, he was shot. Okay, big deal. You can say whatever you want. You can call the cops those names. The cops can't do nothing about it. You can say all that same stuff to the police officers, and they can't do nothing about it, okay? So let's get that straight right now. But the individual put his hands behind his back, right? And the cop cuffed him. And then here's the funny one everybody's saying, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong. They said he spit on him. Yes, the video said that. It did a little spiral thing and said, oh, he just spit on the officer. Well, that was after he got taken down to the ground, kneed 3 times, once in the head, twice in the throat area, then slammed against the car, then kneed again. Now keep in mind, what officer slams an individual against a car that's in handcuffs and just starts kneeing them? What kind of officer is that? Not a real one. that was a kid. That was the one, the cop in school that, or the one kid in school that, becomes a cop and wants to take all the aggression out because his best friend took his girlfriend or something. I don't know. But completely uncalled for. So then, once they put him in the car, then obviously when he went to shut the door, that's when it seemed like to be the individual spit on the officer. Now, do I agree with that? Absolutely not. Now, don't the officers, and aren't officers held to a higher accountability? Aren't they held to a higher standard? I don't know. Am I wrong here? Correct me. Levy County, if you're watching right now, Levy County, again, aren't you guys held to a higher standard? Being a police officer, aren't you held to a higher standard? So now you got spit on and you've already shut the door. Okay, well, you know what you do? You be a real man, you wipe the spit off, and you go and you add that to your files, and you add that to your charges, and you charge them for whatever it is. Assault on an officer, and if it's with, the C word, and if it's freaking, again, I ain't been reading the chat, and if it's with whatever, well, you're held to a higher standard, dude. You don't open the door back up and then start abusing the man. Whatever you could do. I guess people could zoom in and look through the window and see what's going on, the tinted windows. You can kind of see what's going on. Or maybe whenever the hopefully the 911 call comes out and the cop's dash cam, well, hopefully the dash cam on the cop car behind him films it from the backside. And then we get another idea. And let's just put a reason on what would the guy be doing? What would the officer be doing? You should be going and filling out your report right now and adding that he spit on you. Not opening the back door up and grabbing him and assaulting him again after you just insulted him in front of the planet. You guys see how fired up I am about this, how passionate I am about this. Another thing, Levy County, if you're watching, the whole planet is watching you. The whole planet is watching you. It's 2024, okay? Let's get some body cameras. I don't think the old sheriff wants that from what I understand, but the new sheriff does. So Levy County, if you're watching, anybody that's in Levy County, maybe you should look into the new sheriff. I tell you what, I'd love to go have a conversation with the new sheriff, or not the new sheriff, but the guy running for sheriff. I'd love to have a conversation with him and ask him, like, what would you do if this was one of your officers? And see what he would say. And I'd love to have a conversation with the sheriff right now. Say, hey, man, and I wouldn't even want to film it. I wouldn't even want to do it for YouTube or for views or anything. I'd want to know that officer's honest opinion. What was justified there? What was justified? So If you are in Levy County, if there's any way you know anybody in Levy County, I would definitely encourage anybody in Levy County to possibly look into the other sheriff that possibly will be running, because he might be a better candidate. Because from what I understand, he does want body cameras. And think about all the stuff. You guys don't understand how big Levy County is. Levy County is huge. I'm pretty sure they can get a grant. They can raise the money. I'll just about bet you between a few YouTube channels that are out there right now, we can raise enough money to get them all body cameras, for crying out loud. Now, it might just be ones they have to check in and check out or whatever. I don't know how it works, but it's 2024, Levy County. Come on. You know, once again, I'm not bitter with the sheriff's department there. I have nothing against the sheriff's department. I haven't been reading the chat. I don't know. But I do have something with a problem with the way that officer treated that individual, how they handled that whole entire situation. Never getting any evidence, never getting anybody's reports. You know, like, oh, just automatically grab them because I arrested them before. And then now, if you go look at all, what they arrest them for anyway? When they did arrest him and put him in handcuffs and detain him, what did they detain him for? They still hadn't got any of the other victims' statements. Okay? So what is the problem here? The guy was standing there normal. Okay, if you had to detain him, if you felt safer, if you weren't secure enough in the way in your training and your ability to be a law enforcement officer and your ability to fight or your ability to tase or your ability to use lethal force, if you're not confident enough into, well, then you detain him, you put him in handcuffs, and he probably stand right there in handcuffs and say his side of the story. That's from what I see from that interaction. Again, I still apologize. I have not been reading this chat. I just been fired up about this because it really it strikes a heart chord with me, and because that cop just gave it Levy County Sheriff's Department such a bad reputation, such a horrible reputation, just by that one officer's actions. And I tell you what, I had an interaction with an officer here across the street not too long ago. Awesome as could be. I I don't know which officer it was. He was over there doing something. He's out by the road, standing there. And then I said, "How you doing, sir?" And he's like, "Good." And he's like, "How are you?" I said, "Standing up, looking down, better than the other way around." And he's like, "Yep, any day's vertical's good." And I walk over and I shook his hand. I said, "Man, I apologize. You got to keep coming out for all this stuff." He just kind of laughed, said, "Oh man, it's all right." And that was it. You know what I mean? No hostility, no like, even the officer that came up asked me to turn the radio down. You know, I could tell he was, and I think that's the lieutenant or something. I could tell he was just frustrated because of everything that what's going on. But I politely obliged, and I did it, and he came back out. Shook. I'm not sure if that was ever on the video or not. He talked again. He said, "Man, just be the bigger man." That's what I told him. I was like, "Dude, that's what I've been being this whole time." And he said, "I appreciate it." And I shook his hand a couple of times, got a card from him, and he left. Awesome interaction with the Levy County Deputy Sheriff's there. Now, the other one, I didn't have an interaction with him, but I seen it, and I think that was pretty unprofessional, especially if you're trained to de-escalate situations, especially if you're going on scene where you already know this person is, a drug addict and has mental issues. Shouldn't you be prepared when you get there, or are you preparing yourself for an MMA fight? Because that seems like it was to me. Let me just body slam him to the ground. Let me knee him in the face. You listen to it. Then let me knee him in the throat area. And then let me slam him against the car. Let me just, as he's against the car with his hands against his back and he's pushed against the car, he just knees him twice times. The guy's like, "What are you doing that for?" Yeah, okay, spitting. I get that. But again, the only spitting I seen was, and instead of in the video, is after the officer went to shut the door. I'm guessing, from what I could tell, he spit at that officer when the officer went to shut the door. So then the officer yanks open the door and goes back in at him and does whatever he does. Hopefully there's cameras inside the police cars. I mean, it is 2024. They should have a camera on the suspects in the rear seat. I don't know. But okay, again, I said it earlier. Shouldn't he have, when he shut the door, shouldn't he have been the bigger man than a real police officer? Use discretion because he is held to a higher standard. And shouldn't he have wiped the spit off his face and then went and add that charge, just like you said? Yeah, it's a charge. Yeah, you're dang right, it's a charge. I don't want to be spit on. If I was an officer, ain't no way. But I do know they have apparatuses if that becomes a problem, where they could put a mask on them if it become a problem. If you were that upset about it and you thought that was going to happen, well then why didn't you go get your mask and put it over top of his face? That way you couldn't spit on you no more. You're held to a higher standard. You're a police officer. You're a deputy sheriff. You're a law enforcement officer. I know a lot of them. If you're on here and you don't know, go watch the video. You'll see I can prove to everybody out there that I know a lot of law enforcement officers and have a lot of encounters with them. And yes, back to that. Instigated. What happened prior? What happened prior to this guy? Why all of a sudden this guy just starts getting worked up? No. There's something that happened prior with the individuals who were there on the property that provoked that other individual. Maybe they'll come out and say it. Maybe they'll come out and show it. Prove me wrong. I don't know. I have no idea what happened. All I know is the video starts and there's a big, crazy man in Otter Creek. Well, there's a crazy man once again, and y'all, whoever, whatever the guy's name was that called it in, shouldn't they know that? Don't they already know that? Like I'm so pissed off about this, to be honest with you. I'm sorry. And who did a super chat there? Peter Boy, appreciate you. We'll give you a gonk, gonk for that. But it's just one of the things where, as I said, that's kind of one of the reasons why I started to deter from going into law enforcement, because you see that more and more on the internet nowadays where, good cops can't be good cops because they're, in a brotherhood, as they say. And, well, you know what? If you do something wrong, you did something wrong. If you're a good police officer your entire career, you know what I mean? You guys don't have to use his name in the chat. If people want to find it, they'll find it. Please don't give them no more exposure to that individual, because obviously that individual isn't a real country boy, because real country boys will go knuckle to knuckle when somebody calls them out on it. I promise you. I promise you. So I don't know about any part of country that is, but that seemed like a big coward to me. And what happened prior? What happened prior? Where's that video footage? What's going on? Tell me. Like, let's do it. We're almost at 500 people in this chat. Here in a little bit, I might have to plug in my phone and get the speaker off. But yeah, it's just one of the things where, man, absolute BS. Absolute BS. Yeah, so that person, they're not a YouTuber. They have a YouTube channel. There's a difference. Doing a great job, Harry. Appreciate you, Harry. Give you a gavel. Yeah. Yeah, and that's just it, and that person needs to be called out on it. That individual, because of the fact of, like, again, you're not showing the whole story. You're just showing that little bit. You're showing how you were a coward is what you were doing. And on top of that, it was one guy, and evidently there was friends over there. You know what my dad would have done? I'll tell you a story. What happened one time. And so this is funny. This happened several times. And so if my dad would have been like, okay, my mom and dad both. And I'll give you perfect. Okay, let me just tell you this one. Okay, so as you all know, growing up training martial arts, I went to a lot of different schools. We moved around quite a bit. But every time you go to school, everybody wants to try you. Well, there was this one kid, one big, the local neighborhood bully on the bus, and here I am, just this little skinny white kid, and but he starts trying me, and next thing you know, they got the bus there wanting to fight, and I know not to fight. Like, I'm not gonna fight you because I'm gonna get in trouble. I know what not to do. So I had to walk home with them, all the kids behind me, just la la la, and him just talking smack, and again, me, whatever, dude, you don't want this, and I get home, then they're all beating on my door and calling me all this stuff, and like, okay. So as soon as my mom got home, I told my mom what happened. And you know what we did? Mom said, get in the car. I said, let's go. I got in that car and we drove to that kid's house. My mom got out. I got out. She opened the door, knocked on the door, and told that kid's mom, says, hey, your son wants to fight my son? Let's let him fight right now. My son knows not to fight unless he has permission. So if you want your son to come here and fight him, my son right now, because they taunted him, they freaking bullied him all the way home, well, then bring him on out. Let's go ahead and do this. And guess what happened? Yeah, the kid didn't come out. So, his name was Zach. I remember it well. And there was another time, I was still on a bicycle, and this guy was a grown man in a car. And I was on a bicycle coming back from the store. And he comes right there in front of my house, all hollering at me and all this stuff. And my mom comes out, I was like, what's going on? And I was like, this guy's wanting to fight me. And the next thing you know, hand to God, Mom, if you're in the chat, you know dang well. You can justify, you can say it. But I said, he's wanting to fight me. And then the guy's like, oh, look at you hide behind your mom. And my mom sits aside and says, get him, son. And like freaking, so I get out on the road to get my fighting stance. And what does he do? Well, he gets in his car and he leaves. And that's the situation. If somebody wants to go toe to toe, well, go toe to toe with them. You know what I mean? Like, don't be scared. Don't hide behind the stick and your friends and the police. Like, be a man. Okay? Got my little LRG. Appreciate you, brother. I'm not sure if you're in the chat. I haven't been watching the chat. Yeah, so yeah, it's It's sad. It's real sad that this had to happen, but it's good that I'm sure Levy County deputies are a little bit upset with the person who filmed them doing that. Hopefully they're not mad at me for just talking about the truth. I mean, they should be mad at him for putting that video out there for the whole planet to see, now to be inspected. You know what I mean? So, like I said, the other officer, I didn't really watch too much of the other officer, but from what I could tell, when the one went to take him down, I don't think the other officer was ready for it. And so that's called, and then I was just focused in on that one officer, the little guy. And so that's what was really irritating. Now, hopefully, I wish Levy County W drive by right now. I'd like to talk to them and ask them, like, hey, what's your deal in this situation? It'd be cool if that little guy drive by. I could actually talk to them face to face. Say, man, why'd you do that? Tell the world why you did that. Because they're definitely wanting to know. The planet is wanting to know why that deputy felt the need to knee a handcuffed man a total of 5 times, and a deputy's held to a higher standard. Where are we at? Where are we at, people? Where are we at? It's 2024. I think it's time for the sheriff's department over there to do a fundraiser. I bet you all the citizens in the county that all have had situations would be more than willing to pitch in to help get body cams. But rewinding back to the whole situation, how the officers handled it when they got on scene. First of all, they should have talked to both parties and figured out what went on. All right, one officer should have went with one party, other officer went with another party. They got both statements, then the officers come together. Then maybe the officers sometimes go over and talk to other people, a little cross-examining, and then they make their decisions then. If you're fearful of your life because you weren't trained good enough and you need to detain the suspect that has already been in Levy County Jail, I'm not sure how many times, well then put him in handcuffs and let him stand there in handcuffs while you get his story. And so what did he get arrested for? What did he get arrested for? I still don't know. I think I've seen some charges. I don't know exactly, but I've seen some charges online. But what was the charge? What was he doing when they got there? And then did he get resisting arrest? Because what was he resisting? He probably resisted a cop that was already angry, probably squeezing his arms really tight and like pulling up on the back of his wrist in his handcuffs because that cop's, has problems elsewhere. You know what I mean? If that cop don't like me, I'm sorry. Don't bother me one bit. And obviously, if he decides to retaliate against me, well, it's pretty obvious that it's a retaliation, and that's what it'll be. But again, I have nothing against Levy County Sheriff's Department. I have nothing, bad to say about him. I just have this one deputy that I seen interact with a victim / suspect, and I want to know why it was seemed to be justified to be able to treat him the way they did. Maybe this can get to some of them like First Amendment auditors out there. You know what I mean? Them guys that go around. Now I don't like some of the things they do, some of the instigating the auditors do. Yes, it is, you're right, but sometimes I think that could be a little bit more. But at the same time, I do feel as if filming the police and holding them accountable is always acceptable. And man, maybe some of those big time First Amendment auditors will come out, make a YouTube video, come out and showing that video. I'm sure Tug's already heard about it. I'll email and say, dude, have you seen that video? Like, I don't know how it works. I wasn't showing that video. I was showing a clip of it. I'm not trying to, I was showing that video. I wasn't using that footage for myself, but I know YouTube channels can do reaction videos. If I'm not mistaken, can't you do reaction videos or something like that? So I like to see a reaction video done to that video as far as how the officers did it, a breakdown, a slow-mo, a zoom in, all that stuff, right? The chat's flying. I put on 15-second mode, and it's still I haven't read nothing really. So did the officers find out why the guy got riled up? Why did the guy throw the stick at you? Why did the guy throw the paint on you? Why? Well, was it you and the guy's brother antagonizing him? It seems like Mayor Dan's saying something in there. There's a real mayor in there. I mean, I'm the real mayor of Tubetown, but I'm the police force as well. So therefore, I don't have to worry about issues like that because I'm a pretty good guy, and I wouldn't ever do anything like that. Especially if I already known the individual has mental and drug issues. So, yeah, everybody out there, contact some of those auditors, man. Do it by all means. I'll be honest with you, I don't have the time to do it. It's hard being a content creator and then juggling things I got to get done. And look, you'll see here today. Look at the grass that's growing here. But it's hard to do all that. So, but I don't know who all they are. I don't. Oh, they're yelling. what they're saying. Put this up here. That way if they're hollering, you guys should know that again. Okay, so you can use clips. Well, that's why I just filmed that video playing off the internet. That's why it was crappy. Somebody had a, does it sound better up here? This is where I usually have it. Oops, I got it backwards. The video still troublemaker. Good. Well, that's where I'm sure Levy County's probably a little upset with him. Like, man, you just showed us. But that's where I'm hoping that the other cop car will have the footage from the other view, and they'll have two angles of it because they were walking back straight towards that cop car. Now, was the recording? I don't know. It should have been, right? I mean, anytime they come to Otter Creek, for crying out loud, Levy County should know. They should start their cameras back in Bronson. $560 people in there, man. I appreciate it. We're 30 minutes in. We're gonna kind of rewind, recap, start where we're at, and talk about how the interactions that the police had with the individual that's on the internet floating around, if that was justified, if it was brutality, if it was excessive force, or if it was justified. Out of those two things, was it police brutality, was it excessive force, or was it justified? Okay. One, was it justified? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The dude was in handcuffs. Two, was it excessive force? The dude was in handcuffs. He was in handcuffs. Excessive force, in my opinion, I could be wrong, I don't know, but excessive force is when they have to use excessive force to get the suspect under control or in custody, right? That's excessive force, I think. Isn't that where, he still ain't got his hands behind his back, but they're just like, smashing him in his face. Another guy's, turning his leg. Another guy smashing his ribs, Could or that could not be. I don't know. That to me would be excessive force to get him in custody. When he's already in custody, to me, that's brutality. You already have him in custody. You have two officers on scene. You have two, well, I mean, I don't want to call them both grown men, but one of them certainly seemed to be like a grown man. But you have two grown men that are held to a higher standard, that are supposed to be trained to deal with mental illness and drug addiction, okay? And yet they get on scene, do no investigation, nothing other than listening to somebody say, oh, I got paint thrown on me, and they threw a stick at me, and look, I'm bleeding. They shows a little dot of blood. I mean, come on. I walked over there because they're out, and I just, you always gotta keep an eye out. You never know. All right, looks like they're leaving. Good. Hey, they've been hollering all morning. I believe so. I believe that cop was. I believe he definitely was totally out of line. I believe that was brutality. You're a police officer, and you have a guy in handcuffs behind his back, and you have him on top, bent over the car. And then you just decide to knee him. Has anybody not seen that? Did you guys see that? Like, is that proper policing? Is that proper policing? I've already taken a guy down. Now, the worst thing about it is, obviously, you can see how angry he got when the video said he just spit on the officer. So I guarantee if he spit on the officer any time before that, that officer got just as angry and did that, if not more. So the only time I seen him spit on the officer, which I didn't see, but I could gather from the body language, is when the officer went to shut the door, is when the spit came out. And then the door was shut, and then the cop realized it, and then he yanked it back open. And then you guys zoom in, make your own assumptions. What else are you gonna do? Just like, hey man, why'd you spit on me? I don't appreciate that. Or would you take the spit mask, put it over their head? Or what happened? I don't know. Did you guys see it? He kneed him a total of 5 times. 3 times on the ground, when he took him down the ground in handcuffs, put his face in the dirt, had another grown man on top of him, kneed him in his face once with his left knee. Look at it, watch it. Kneed him in the throat area, which probably the face as well, 2 times with his right knee. And then, okay, so here's the for all you people out there say, oh, he spit on him. Well, you remember what the one officer said? If you don't want to walk like a man to the car, it wasn't nothing about being spit on. He says, if you don't want to walk like a man to the car, this is what's going to happen, or something like that, right? I don't know exactly, but something like that. So never nothing to do with being spit on. If that was the case, you're held to a higher standard. If he's spitting, okay, well, then one officer hold him down, the other officer go get the spit mask and put it over his face. No. So he never spit on him. And after what how he got treated, you think he ain't gonna be a little upset? You think when they go to pick him up, he ain't gonna have, like I said in my video yesterday, you think he ain't gonna be a little winded after just all of a sudden just getting slammed to the ground, then yanked up, and then slammed to the ground, kneed a couple times, then held down, probably kind of get your breath taken out of you, and then slinging him up. You think he might just like, hey, yeah, my knees are like, I'm trying to figure this out real quick, and then they get bam on the car, and then on the car. Now he's on the car. One cop's holding him, right? One cop's holding him. He's in handcuffs behind his back. And the other cop starts kneeing him in the kidneys. That could be fatal. So, remember, I just gotta always keep my eyes out. But how is that not brutality? One cop's holding him down while he's handcuffed. The other cop's kneeing him. I hope that. Well, looks like they're making a dump run. Good. That's good for them. I hope that somebody like FDLE, I don't really got a feeling it's going to go anywhere in the department. I could be wrong. I wish TV 20 News would maybe take this and have this as content to basically, hey, go interview the sheriff that's running for re-election, and then go interview the guy who's running for election. Let's get their points of view. You know what I mean? Let's get their points of view on that interaction as to how they should treat that officer. My honest opinion, fired. Sorry. If you can't conduct yourself in that situation, that wasn't even an intense situation. That wasn't a hostile situation. Like, you just want to listen to him. They just like being on my channel, I think. All right. But yeah. So I haven't seen Mark's video yet. I had to see it. I'll have to check it out. But I just, where are we at? 37 minutes. All right. We're going to stay on for an hour. But in my opinion, Levy County needs to get up to date with body cameras. It is 2024. I'm sure there's grants out there. Maybe Mandy Waters, who is running for clerk of courts, or clerk of courts maybe? Maybe she could find or know where there's a grant or something that can be got to utilize to get the department body cams. That way, imagine how much stuff goes on that isn't in front of the police officer's car, and the audio is broken. So, yeah, I'm sure there's going to be people out there asking for it. I'm sure it's going to be out there. I'm sure people will be looking for it. It's going to be pretty hot on the internet right now. I guarantee you there's going to be probably a lot of law tubers going to be picking this up and maybe questioning it. You know what I mean? Like, especially being that the whole planet is watching Levy County right now. I'm not sure if Levy County really understands that. And half of Levy County is watching them. And half are on board and half aren't on board. Whatever the case may be, as long as the truth is shown, just like with the incident across the street. Yeah, the cop 100% should be arrested for assault. No slap on the hand, no administrative leave, nothing like that. What if I did that to a cop? What if I did that to a cop? Absolutely, dreamers. It's always that way. It's the way I was raised and trained. No, I would love for TV 20 to get it and like, hey, Levy County Sheriff. And I've seen a lot of support for that sheriff. There's a Alachua County police officer that lives over by Walmart who's supporting the new sheriff that's running. And he's obviously a police officer in Alachua County because his cruise is there. 2 months. I did rewatch the video, Travis. You're right. He was handcuffed. It was brutal. It was brutal. My son is the chief of police in Bismarck, Missouri. See, look at that. Ask your son what he would do. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure he would be reprimanding. You know, in my opinion, I wouldn't want that person. That's like if you have somebody that works for you, for example, right? Yeah, if I'm a construction, if I have a roofing crew, right? And next thing you know, one of my guys is down there stealing something. Battery power's getting low. That's not the same thing. Okay, so he's down there beating up the dang customer. Like, you don't want that. You don't want to be, that's your company. You don't want to be represented by that. So if that guy can't handle himself in that type of situation, imagine, I'm sure, hopefully the world will report it. The whole planet's watching. So, but how come that guy can't handle himself in that situation? What's to make him be able to handle himself in a real intense situation? What happens when you show up on scene? And I've been there. Again, keep in mind, I used to be a bouncer at one of Florida's largest bars. We had 20 bouncers on staff, 4 officers on scene, and if you didn't get in 5 fights a night, it was a slow. And that's each bouncer. It was slow. So we had to take care of business a lot. And if the freaking officer was properly trained, I'll talk again. There was no need for any of that. Absolutely none. Man, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. It's just absolutely ridiculous. So, again, I have too much stuff going on. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of disgusted people out there. I know I need to talk to Wes. I need to have Wes do a live, and he needs to talk about some stuff, and everybody needs to go there and I need to give him a call because there are some things that are transpiring right now that I'm not going to talk about. I'll let Wes talk about them. Wes, are you in the chat right now? But yeah, that's why I jumped on here. I'm probably going to go over here and plug my phone in here in a minute, just because of the fact of the battery's getting low. And got my solar fans going though. So it's a little thing. Let's walk over here and plug you guys in. All right. 595. We'd hold a steady 500, 600 people in here. Again, I just wanted to get on here and talk about, as you all seen the video yesterday, it was definitely a bit upsetting to me, especially somebody. I don't come from a family of law enforcement officers, but I've always come from a passion of being a law enforcement officer so that I could be the cop that you always wanted to be pulled over by. Let me ask you this question, chat. And you guys in there, you can say either way. I won't be offended either way. The majority of times when you see a police officer, do you feel protected or paranoid? Go ahead and say it in the chat right now. The majority of times when you see 499 South Maryland Supreme Court held that police do not have duty protecting individuals from harm, this is still considered valid. I don't know what that means. I read it kind of quickly. I'm trying to get my stuff. But do cops make you feel safe or protected or paranoid? Okay, just so everybody knows, the sound's gonna go down a little bit. You might have to adjust it because of the fact that I'm gonna have to unplug this microphone to plug in my charger. So I'll try to talk loud for everybody, just so everybody can hear me. Okay, can you still hear me? Can you still hear me? So a lot of people are saying paranoid, feel safe. Again, that's where I agree. It depends on where you're at. It really does depend on where you're at. You know what I mean? A lot of people where they're at in their town, absolutely. A lot of times I get paranoid that I'm going to get busted for speed, and I'm always doing 5 miles an hour under the speed limit. Julie's like, why are you so paranoid? Well, because you see a lot of things out there that aren't the best things. Yeah, I know you can barely hear me because of the fact of I had to unplug my microphone. Hold on. It's still set at 15%, so I'm just going to leave it in and let it run. We only got about 15 minutes, so hopefully it'll last 1% a minute. They'll waste your time trying to find you something to bust for. Yeah. How about now? Sound back on? Is the sound back on? Okay. Good deal. Oops. Sorry about that. Yeah, I know there's a lot. I'm sure Mayor Dan has a lot of freaking awesome officers that work there for him. I guarantee you, Mayor Dan wouldn't put up with that stuff. I know for a fact. Right on, Deb. What are you doing? Miss you too. Miss all ya. I need to get with you guys all, and so we can talk about what we did. And I got to set you guys up. I'm gonna link you guys all in on a group chat, and then that way everything can kind of get sorted out. No, I feel as if cops do. I mean, think about this. Cops do always go to the scene, but it's how you react on the scene. Well, when that police officer got to that scene, I don't think he did his job properly. He just assumed what the other person was yelling was true. He had that little speck of blood. Watch. Well, that was not sharp enough. I need I hit these stickers around here all the time. Got a little pop of blood. You know what I mean? Oh, and I got paint on my clothes. Well, like I said before, I'll say it again, and I hope this gets out there and they hear it. Your real country folk, step it up, and hey, you want to do it? Don't stand behind your friends or behind a stick or behind a bat or behind the police. Get out there, get your differences out, shake hands, and go on about your way. It's real simple. That's how real country people do it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Any country boys out there in the chat? Any country boys out there that don't agree with me? Hey, if you have a problem, You go outside. You don't disturb the women. You don't disturb the interior of the restaurant or wherever you're at. You and so go outside. You have your thing. You come back inside. Both you're probably pretty good buddies after that. And you're both buying each other drinks or dinner or whatever. But yeah. Okay. So think about this. Here's another good. Super chat from rewind. Sassy. Appreciate you, Sassy. Here's something else. So think about how quick they were there to react to that situation. How they react whenever it was reported there was a gun called. I don't know. Like I said, I'm just upset about that officer and the whole thing, about the way they reacted. And I'm not saying nothing about the other officer. It's the little man. Everything he did was uncalled for. And so I'd love to see, what's going to happen. What Fat Madam Mayor's in? What's up, Madam Mayor? Debbie's in the chat. Why were they were never scared. The kid told him, or the man, he said, I have no problems with you guys. You guys know me. And the cop walked up there and he did this. He did this right here. He put his hands behind his back. And the cop cuffed him. Now keep in mind, when a cop that obviously has anger issues or is upset for whatever reason, he's got you and he's walking with your hand around your arms like that and you're handcuffed. You gonna tell me, I've been handcuffed before. I've been in trouble. You're going to tell me that cop wasn't being aggressive when he's holding him? Why didn't the cop just sit there and say, let's go to the car and walk with him? I promise you that cop was grabbing him aggressively, pulling him, and what other normal human being wouldn't be like, man, like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? What's the problem? I just let you handcuff me, and now, boom, straight. Like I said, what if you would have busted his face on the concrete? Now, there are incidents, I've seen a thing online, where there was somebody kept trying to kick the cop was walking him, and he kept trying to kick the cop and all that stuff and fighting the cop. Well, hey, justified 100%, because the guy and the cop took like 4 or 5 times of the guy sitting there assaulting him before the cop finally took him down. But still, police officers are held to a higher discretion, higher standard. And so therefore, if you can't handle the job in a simple, small little situation like that, when you've already known these brothers been arrested before for fighting each other, and now the brother has a friend over who's trying to do whatever, trying to negotiate deals or trying to clean up whatever the heck he was doing, what happened before the individual got fired up? That's what I want to know. Go ahead and, if you're out there watching or you're relaying it back to the individual, let them know, hey, what happened prior? What happened prior to this incident, this situation? Because I'd love to know. I would love to know. They just decide to start yelling at you guys? Maybe you got that on tape. Maybe like, oh man. Or maybe his brother started. What was that? Almost took you outside for a country chat at the restaurant the other night. Jessica. That's awesome. Somebody cruising by Tube Town. That's funny. That was a good time, man. It was lots of fun. That was lots of fun. But yeah, I think I'm hoping that this gets a lot of traction on the internet, man. I really do. Just because, again, how passionate I am with good, honest law enforcement and the way they should be. As you all know, you've seen in my video, I had the proof. I'm not just doing this to get views. I'm not just doing this to pick on them. I'm doing this because there's a lot of good law enforcement out there, and unfortunately, it's guys like that give them bad names. TCS get it from my point of view. So from I watched the video, that's what it kind of seemed like to me. And again, what's the problem? If you're a country boy, why don't you go over there and knuckle it up? What's the problem? You have your friends there. That way, if it gets out of control, they can pull them off. For crying out loud, the guy's dad's there. Like, you ain't from the country. I'm going to start a Tube Feuds channel. Somebody might start it for me. It's going to take off. But YouTubers, and just like celebrity fights, call it Tube Feuds. Same people can get signed up for it. And then maybe that channel get traction, and we'll have 3 YouTube channels. And then I'll set up a ring and have all the pads ready to go, and bam, Tube Feuds. Where is the video? I don't understand. The video is on. I don't know if it's still there or not. They might have taken it down. I have no idea. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that have the video that were able to record it off the internet if it did get erased. So therefore, it's out there. It's definitely out there. Yeah, everybody go let them know in that comment so that it's obvious. A lot of people seen it. I clicked on it because I was like, man, I know that guy. I want to see what's going on. I don't ever watch that channel. I never pay no attention to it. It's obvious what that channel does and who they are. especially after accusing me of hanging turtles and just a bunch of kid games that they can't understand. And then blasting Miss Belinda's personal business all over the internet. Nah, respect zero. So, and that can be known. I don't bother me at all. I don't care. It's the fact of I care about individuals being wrongly treated, and there was a situation where an individual was wrongly treated, and who's to say how many times prior to that you know, it's obvious the guy needs mental help. It's obvious. You know what I mean? But doesn't grant to instigate him. Like every time I've seen that guy, every time I've seen him, like I said, I had 2 interactions. I see him all the time, but he's just walking along, minding his own business. You know, every time I interact with him, he offered me stuff. So hey, he's a person has a problem. You know, I have family members. We have family members that were in treatment. We had family members that OD'd. We have family members that are gone from, it affects everybody out there. Drugs affect everybody in this chat right now. All 529 of you right now. I promise you, there's somebody in your family, either you know or you don't know, who is affected by drugs, who is a functioning or non-functioning or something. It's a very unfortunate circumstance here in the United States as well as probably around the world. But maybe some of the other countries out there that aren't as easily drugs as easily get, maybe not as much. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel in this whole situation. And we got 9 minutes left, so we're gonna ride this out. If the phone starts dying on you, it's all right. Don't forget, tonight I have a live on What You Doing Willis. If you're not on What You Doing Willis, you gotta go. There's a whole other channel. One of the mods will throw it up in the chat. But 6:30 live on that. And don't forget, 3 o'clock video today on this channel with me and Grandma Gail and Crystal finishing up our game of Two Town, which, man, you have to watch these two. Those two are fun to be around. And then a little bit of cleanup here I had to do because there's a tree that fell. I'm gonna call it like Tube Town Tragedy or something like that, because a tree fell on the fence, and watch it as like Run with the Views, because it's like a tragedy. You can put on there the best time, the best thing ever, and they'd be like, so. You put on there something's wrong, people just eat it up. So, but yeah, that's where I'm at. That's how I feel. I want to jump in and talk about it, and I'm hoping again that more people talking about it. Don't worry if I just decide to randomly go live with no description or nothing. I'm just going live because I'm being pulled over by the sheriff's department. I don't know why, because I never speed. But I'm not trying to put no target on my back. I'm not trying to, again, discredit Levy County Sheriff's Department. I'm just trying to bring awareness to a deputy who was a very aggressive, very unprofessional, not held to a higher standard, and not performing his duties correctly. And that should be addressed. That should be known. It should be known through the local media. It should be known through the sheriff. It should be known to the incoming running person for sheriff or whatever. Like, everybody should know, because it affects everybody. I've actually had some email. I got quite a few emails I got to get back to. Somebody emailed me this morning. I didn't get all the way into it before I had to leave. It was something that, fact, they live in Levy County. Like I said, my kids live in Levy County. My granddaughters live in Levy County. I work in Levy County. My son works for Levy County, for crying out loud. My son-in-law, Josh, he works for Levy County. So I have, interest here in Levy County. I'm not just here for YouTube. I don't agree with Larry. What don't you agree with, Larry? Let me know. Let's see what Larry don't agree with. I'm curious to know. I'm definitely curious to know. I haven't been watching the chat. Poor Kevin. Kevin still don't know. It'll come up sooner or later. The other cop. I'm looking for. Keep an eye out for Larry. Let me know when you see Larry. He said he didn't agree. I'm gonna find out. And all due respect, Larry, I would like to know, just because of the fact of. I'm just keeping an eye out for Larry's. Mods, help me look out for Larry's response. Thanks, Saint Larry. Everything on the video. Oh yeah, exactly. You don't agree with everything? Yeah. Well, I don't know exactly everything, but yeah, I don't agree with everything in the video either. So I'm sure a lot of people don't agree with it. A lot of people already don't agree with it. So hopefully it just continue to be talked about and discussed, and better the serving the people around here can be done. The better the people can be served is what I'm going to say. All the people, their boy Biscuit would never mention being spit on until the cop did. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Even the cops, when the cops took him down the ground, they were saying he didn't want to walk, so he needs to walk like a man. They never said nothing about being spit on. Go and watch the video. The cops didn't react near it. Now, when the cop got spit on, that's when the cop really got angry and opened the door back up. No, you should have left the door shut, and you should have went and put that added that charge to the police report. You're held to a higher standard. You're trained. I mean, it ain't like you're gonna die, for crying out loud. Yeah, it could have happened. Yes, oh, blah, blah, blah. But look, come on, let's be real about it. You must be in some sort of shape to be a police officer, right? Because what happens if you got to chase a criminal? You know what I mean? So the whole video is out there. It's not the whole video. The whole video, it's only the video that shows after the incident, the individual has been provoked, and then when the cops get there and that. It don't show anything that happened prior to that. It don't show why the individual got provoked. It don't show anything. It just shows the individual irate and pissed off because of whatever reason. You know, so it's unfair. And again, like I said, the officers didn't go get both sides of the story. They just got the guy they arrest all the time. Not cool. And then they did what they did. So with that said, people, we got about 4 minutes left, man. I do appreciate everybody jumping on. I'm going to actually we'll be back over here, grab my computer, and then get in the truck. I will be put in the shop today. The AC's gonna get fixed finally, and I'm super excited about that. And then I'm trying to read the chat. But yeah, check out you'll see in the video today. The grass is growing in, filling in here. It's pretty awesome. Pretty excited about it. 560 people in the chat, 527. I appreciate again everybody jumping on. I'm going to I need to get this computer. I need to go get my video done and uploaded. Ow! Woo! Got bit. When the brother is giggling while he was shot. Yeah, there was definitely some taunting or something going on back and forth. What I'm still just, I got the computer. I'm going back to Chuck. What I still don't get is why are you gonna sit there and hide behind your friends and your sticks and the police? Just go do your business and be done with it. What's up, BT from Hawaii? Aloha. Only 10 as Nicola said. Sorry, I had no control over that. I'm on my phone. I can't skip. Don't give me the option to skip them on this thing. So. I'm gonna put you guys there. I'm gonna turn my truck on even though, well, no, it don't get cold. Ain't gonna matter. Flipping, I'll be heading that way here in a minute. Get this video uploaded. Then I'm gonna boogie back and drop my truck off today. That way they can hopefully get most of it apart. He called me this morning. He's like, hey, my AC guy's pretty much caught up. You know, if you when can you bring it in? I was like, well, let me go do some stuff and then I'll back in a little bit. But yeah, I do appreciate everybody on here. I appreciate everybody that's involved with, you know, my life and what I do. Don't forget tonight, 6:30 on What You Doing, Willis. The whole other channel is the same thing, but it's different. And you know, be sure to leave the comments as to what you know wherever you like, because of the fact of what is going on. Hopefully something can get done. Hopefully the new sheriff or the new guy running for sheriff will get elected and they'll get body cameras, and you know, maybe it'll be a new refreshing face. Maybe they'll all realize that now that they're under the planet's watch all the time. Maybe it'll kind of do a little bit more straightening up. So I don't know, but hold on, you all, thank you. Appreciate the super chats. I know there was some in there I didn't get to see. Maybe there's some memberships or something, I'm not sure, but I do appreciate everybody who jumps on. You know me, I don't really like to do the drama or do the unnecessary whatever, but this is something that really hurts me here to see done, and therefore that's why I'm saying something about it and talking about it. And I appreciate you guys all just listening, having good times with it, and everybody start saying bye in the chat. You got about a minute left to say bye. Don't forget tonight, 6:30. What You Doing, Willis? We got fan mail. Joy's got trivia. So, yeah, if you're in Levy County and you want to vote, you see what's going on. Look, everybody start saying bye. Bye, 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 bye. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Tubetown USA show, starring What You Doing, Willis, and the mayor, Shane, or Travis Shane, or what's that guy's name? I don't even know. He's so confusing. All right. Once again, everybody, yep, you just nailed it on the head. 20 seconds countdown. See you guys later. Love each and every one of you. I'm going to go cool off. Flipping, I'm on my way. I've already eaten my lunch. Probably should go get me a BLT from Herschel's. Oh, yeah, baby. All right, we'll see you all. How do I end this thing? I can't always find on my phone. There it is. Oops, what is that? Oh, there's Vice Mayor Carl. All right, we'll see you guys.